Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2C TV, your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C and this is your latest news update from the continent of Europe. A lot has happened overnight and earlier this morning. We're going to catch up with everything on 2C TV. We've had a mass attack in Austria in a school. We've had yet another attack in a different school in France. We've also had the riots and protests in Northern Ireland last night, which we will cover as well. There is a lot to cover in regards to how the authorities are responding to this and where Europe as a continent is at this moment. Before we start, obviously there's going to be a lot of negative stories that we will be reporting today, but massive thank you to every single person who's been sending early messages. My birthday is actually tomorrow, but not today. But in order to obviously celebrate with you guys, it's a present from me to you guys, but actually if you want to give me a present, then we are giving you a discount, a 37% off annual memberships of 2C TV Plus. If you use the promo code 2C37, you can imagine why it's 37, right? Now it's known that my age is getting old and old. So yes, I'm 37 tomorrow. This is a limited offer. This is essentially what we call it, the birthday discount. So go on 2c.tv or find the link in the description and become a member of 2C TV Plus to get access to everything behind the scenes as well. Now, let's talk about Austria first, then we're going to cover France, and later on we're going to talk about what happened in Northern Ireland as well. Right. 11 so far have been confirmed killed in the school. This is the exclusive footage that we have. Someone who actually filmed inside the school as the police, the armed police, basically stormed in to help everybody evacuate. 11 have been killed in the school in Graz in Austria. 28 have been injured. Initially, they said 4 of them are in critical condition, but I believe the number is going up already. The attacker was a 22-year-old man and a former student of the school himself, and he did successfully take his own life straight after the attack. As I said, this is the moment that the armed police stormed into the school. Students were evacuated, and we do have a couple of other exclusive footage as well in terms of the moment of the attack. Couple of video footage from inside the classrooms, which we will show you. But before we actually do that, we can now confirm in terms of the details of those who have been injured and those who have lost their lives. One of them actually was the 4 of them were very young girls from a 5th grade class. Now this was completely toxic in regards to the people who claim that they had warnings about a troubled young man beforehand, but the authorities have not confirmed exactly what that means. There is currently a press conference going on as well in Graz, which we will get to as well to give you guys more information about what they are claiming. But the main issue about this is that we have to discuss the identity of the actual student, which we don't have at this moment. As I said, we have a video footage from the moment of the attack as well, from inside one of the classrooms. Let's quickly go to that one. Yeah. We will get some reaction from you guys as well. We're just waiting for some more information in terms of the casualties and those who have been injured, and also we're going to go to France shortly. I believe we can show you the next video from Graz, the school in Austria. This is yet another footage that was, I believe, filmed. Where do we have that footage? Yes, I believe we have it. Yeah, let's go. Supposed to be sent to us. Having said that, the casualties are now being taken away in helicopters. The authorities are acting swiftly to make sure that the injured are also being taken care of. Let's go to the next video. Yes, so we've just been told, the previous clip is the older one, so ignore that one. Apologies for the mistake. Now, let's talk about the reaction that we have so far. The Chancellor of Austria, Christian Stocker, has called the shooting a national tragedy. There are no words, he says, for the pain and sadness that we all throughout Austria are feeling right now. He said that his thoughts were with the families of those killed and surviving students and staff. School is a place of trust, security and hope. The fact that this safe space was shaken so brutally leaves us stunned. So that's the Chancellor of Austria, and we will have some more reaction from the establishment on that issue as well. Now, there is a lot of focus currently in terms of what's happening in Austria itself. Now, one of the main reasons is because school shootings are not really that regular in Europe, so I understand that part of it. But considering that we have a lot of rogue attacks, or as the media would call them, isolated incidents, this morning, as I said, for example, you've had the situation in Austria in a school, but we also have another situation in a school in France, which are not related, by the way. But it does send a signal that lawlessness is on the rise in the continent. A lot of Europeans were always very smug, saying, look at the Americans, every day there's some sort of bad news from what's going on in the schools in the US. But similar issues are now also rising in the continent of Europe. As we said earlier on, we were told that 4 people are critically injured, but now we can confirm that 7 of those who are injured are in critical conditions, and they are now undergoing surgery. So we will keep you guys posted on that as well. And let's talk about what's happening in France, because in France, an assistant teacher, a supervisor at the François Dolto Middle School in Nogent was seriously injured initially by a student who attacked the teacher, the supervisor, with a knife. Unfortunately, even though the emergency services were trying to save her life, she has now been killed by that student. There is some reaction already from the president of the National Rally, Jordan Bardella, saying that every day France suffers unprecedented savagery, sparing no place and no territory. The time for observations is over. Basically, just to looking around. We must act relentlessly. And of course, this was just the X translation from on X from French to English. Not fully accurate, the word relentlessly, but it is what it is. Now, on the issue of how the school reacted in France, obviously compared to Austria, we can now also confirm that a psychological support unit has been set up in France in the school outside the Reims Academy. They have now deployed a mobile security team to the site and initiated the establishment of this psychological support unit for the students and staff at the school. They will be taking care of them all day. Everything else has now been cancelled in the school, and we'll find out exactly more information about the actual student who attacked the teacher, obviously killed the teacher, and those around them. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, has also reacted, saying, while watching over our children, a supervisor lost her life. Well, she was murdered, but yeah. The victims of a senseless wave of violence. We all stand with her, not his, family, loved ones, colleagues, and the entire educational community. The nation is in mourning, and the government is mobilized to reduce crime. So I have to translate the translator sometimes because it's not really accurate on X. Apparently, according to the president of France, the government is working to reduce the rate of crime. In reality, the exact opposite is happening in terms of the actions of the establishment in countries like France. They are not actually helping anybody, and crime continues to go up. As I said, we will also have some updates in terms of what's happened last night in Northern Ireland, the protests and riots. Before we do that, let's get some reaction from you guys. We're just waiting for the press conference in Austria to be concluded as well, get more information. Super chat from Phil, thank you, saying situational awareness is paramount in importance. Drop the phones and be aware of your surroundings. Always be prepared. Well, I'm guessing at this point in Europe, there has to be a mandatory guidance and tutorials for all young people and students, and even actually adults, how to deal with a similar type of emergency situations, the sort of stuff that you didn't have to deal with back in the day. But even in terms of how to walk around the streets in big cities, how not to get stabbed or mugged, I think that needs to be a mandatory lesson. Tusi, the I like video was not taken from the school tour. Yes, as I said myself as well. Thank you very much. That was from before. Is Tommy Robinson in Austria? Nope. Let's get the members of 2C TV Plus as well. What is going on here? There we go. Okay, so we got Pete saying it is going balmy out there now. Yeah, a little bit. Scrolls away, says, coming to a school near you. Why kids? It's always the kids. Sick cowards. But I guess, well, when it comes to young people, I mean, the one in France, he was no longer a kid. He was 22 years old, but he was a former student, right? Well, this one. In the other one, it was an existing student. So kids or students would tend to do these sort of things in their own bubble, which is their own educational establishments. Marmite says, of course, the filthy coward took his own life. When they say a man has been arrested, we always know who they mean. We don't have the identity of the student yet, by the way, or the exact motive, but the main point of it is that it's lawlessness and it's criminal and it's evil. We'll find out more for you guys later on. Let's see what else we have. I'm trying to see if there is any reaction on from the statements that we are receiving. Let's get some non-super chats as well. John says they have been coming for our children for years now. Yeah, but again, in this case, it's children attacking children as well, but yes. Attacks like these are what we need to get used to, since having Muslims living with us is so important. But again, when it comes to the rise of crime and lawlessness, it's not really just about Islamism. This is just an epidemic that's going around in the continent of Europe. Just criminal gangs in general. Again, there's a lot of, as the media will call it, mental illness, but that's just an excuse, obviously. People are going crazy, but not because they have a condition, for example. It's just an excuse that the media continues to use. If he was white, they would have shouted it out loud. I mean, it's still highly likely because it was in Austria, but we don't know exactly what the details are going to be. Meanwhile, Greta Thunberg has now arrived in Paris, and she's still claiming that she was kidnapped by the Israelis. I'm not really sure why, if she was kidnapped, why they released her. Super chat here. Right. How do I access things like the Q&A? Just wanted me to join again. You are. We don't do Q&A. We have live chat, which is, well, you can see, and your comment is already on the screen. When you leave a comment in the live chat, it pops up. So there we go. But obviously, if you want to join 2CTV Plus to get access to this one, which is the 2CTV Plus chat forum, where you can also talk to me directly and like-minded people, then go on 2C.tv. It's literally on the screen. Become a member by joining 2CTV Plus on the screen, not the join button on YouTube. That's controlled by YouTube and Google. It's nothing to do with us, that join button. But we obviously have a discount. It's my birthday discount, 37% off annual memberships of 2CTV Plus. If you use the promo code 2C37, I forgot my own age, 2C37. Birthday is actually tomorrow, not today, but this is a limited offer to say thank you. If you want to give me a birthday present, join 2C TV Plus. The link is in the description under the video, not the join button. That's irrelevant. That money goes to YouTube. I don't really know what happens with that. Okay. I'm genuinely surprised that Britain seems very quiet at the moment. That's mostly because, well, it's not very quiet. We literally had the protests and riots in Northern Ireland last night. But other than that, it's mostly because the security services and intelligence are very good. Even counterterrorism police in the Met, this compared to the rest of the Metropolitan Police, they do a good job regularly. It's a thankless job. When they do their good job, you don't hear much about it, so people say, oh, what's happening? When things kick off, obviously people always blame everybody else. There's more reaction from the members of 2CTV Plus saying, and this is what happens when people become too tolerant. Round them up and ship them out. Who? How many kids got to die before the government will do the right thing? Well, okay, if the student, if the kid who killed the other kids is genetically and biologically and historically from Austria, where would you want to send them? That's the main question. Vinnie King says the youth of today, no accountability, lack of discipline, self-entitled, brainwashed, and quite often feral. They bring back corporal punishment. Yeah, at home and in schools. Loving the app, by the way. Finally getting notifications for the live streams. Brilliant. Thank you, Vinnie King. Listen to Vinnie and join 2CTV Plus. They dismiss them as isolated incidents. Maybe the rise of shootings that they should instead try to find out what these crimes actually have in common. But the problem is, so even if it becomes even more regular, as you know, in some parts of the United States, you're still going to get gaslighting from the establishment. For example, in LA, over the last few days, you've seen the evidence of the troubles and the unrest, right? We still continue to have the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, continuing to say nothing is actually happening. So if they want to gaslight, they can gaslight. Even when it becomes regular, they can still pretend nothing is actually happening. If I kidnapped the pest Greta, I would return to sender ASAP. That's what Israel did, I guess. The EU is dealing with more Islamic terrorism than me as a kid growing up in Israel during the Second Intifada. Technically, that's true, yeah. Although we don't have any confirmation of Islamism when it comes to this, but both attacks. I mean, the one in France definitely seems to be a direct connection between the former the student and the teacher, well, supervisor, right? That seems to be personal because the target was just one person. This one might be some sort of fucked up thing or ideological thing. I don't know what's going on with these people at this point. Everyone's going crazy. Happy birthday, Maya, from a fellow 11th of June, Gemini. Yes, go Team Gemini, I guess. Yes, we've got one more day until I am officially in my late 30s. That's fun, isn't it? Right. Ground Knows Best says, schools everywhere need to better protect all of our children. This breaks my heart. There's a lot of people who are now saying Europe has changed, which means that you have to have metal detectors and everything else and extra security in state schools, public schools. But do we really have to accept that this is the life we are living in? So we have more information about the attacker in Austria, not in France yet. So the shooter obviously was a former student, as we already said, in his early 20s. According to Karna, the interior minister, the attacker didn't finish school. He used to go to that school, but didn't finish school. He also says, the interior minister, that anything else is still speculation. That's it. He did own, the student, though a former student, did own 2 weapons legally. So that's another problem. And we don't have they didn't have any information about the attacker prior to the attack. So those who were claiming in Austria, in Graz, that they were hearing rumors of a potential attack, that was, well, has now been debunked by the interior minister. But again, we'll find out when the truth comes out completely. The school is now going to be remaining closed for the time being. We don't know when they're going to be reopening the school. Also, they're now saying he was 21, not 22. We'll find out more about that as well. I mean, 1 year difference is not really the main issue. We have to find out more about the motive and more about the identity of the shooter. Now, Do we have more from the members of 2CTV Plus? We do, guys. Okay. Lawlessness is now the norm. The police are complicit. Well, the thing is that the police are not in charge of policy. Politicians are in charge of policy. And when the governments and the political establishment continue to make things worse and harder by opening doors, by not actually having good policies and programs to keep the country safe, you can't expect the police to come up with policies. It becomes very, very difficult, especially when it comes to security around schools. It's not the job of the police, it's the job of the political establishment. They have their own patrols in certain areas. Maybe we should start doing the same in our towns and cities to deter them from trying anything. I'm not really sure who they are, but I don't know yet. Okay, we'll find out. I guess they. A bit rude, but I still love you. Okay, thank you. All right. Tell us how true patriots can have our voice heard. Petitions are useless. Oh, our voice. Our voice is heard. Well, I'm not a political activist, so I can't really give you the advice, but obviously my own opinion is that in liberal democracies, you have a couple of ways. Petitions are stupid. Just ignore the petitions, as this person says. You either have a way to focus and push all the support for a political movement, a political party, whatever party you want to pick. It's about energizing that movement. If that doesn't work, then obviously the only way is peaceful protests. There's not much else you can do, unless you want to do a coup d'etat or do some sort of bloody revolution, which is treason. And there's not much else you can do. The best way you can do it is that we have all these tools that we didn't have back in the day. We have social media. Even the revolution in Egypt was organized on Facebook, by Facebook events. So things have changed. And people are using this. The problem is the so-called patriots are not united. They continue to attack each other, saying, no, I'm more patriotic than you. Or like, oh, that person, I don't like his face or her face. Or this person is flying the wrong flag. Oh, though you're holding the flag the wrong way. I don't like your hat. Oh, why did you organize that rally and I didn't get invited? That's the problem you have with patriots in mostly the continent of Europe. Everybody's too busy attacking each other instead of being united. Maya, do you read the Bible? Of course. I think that's part of what you do, I guess. And also Sundays, you have to. I try to have a peaceful Sunday, but it tends not to happen. Apart from going to church, the rest of the day gets completely crazy with all these negative news stories. Anyway, as I said, tomorrow is my birthday. And if you want to give me a present, then you can become a member of 2CTV Plus, but I'm going to give you a discount code to help you guys. You will get 37% off annual memberships of 2CTV Plus. It's a limited offer because it's my birthday tomorrow. Use the promo code 2C37. Use it today. The link is in the description, or just go on 2C.tv, which is down below under this screen as well. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.